Good evening. Thanks for tuning in to the LCYouth Drive Home Recap. Tonight at LCYouth, we started a series called Shine Bright. As I was getting ready, I was reminded of a time when our kids were a lot younger. We lived in Kansas City, and in the backyard, we had a play set. I was sitting on the deck one summer evening, and I was watching all three of our kids go through the yard trying to catch fireflies in little glass jars. And to me, the firefly shining in the trees is like the sign of summer. I have so many memories tied to seeing the fireflies. And you think of how such a small insect can be seen from so far away in the right conditions. In our lives, we may seem small, we may seem insignificant, but God has made us to shine brightly in our world. And tonight we looked at Paul's instructions to the church in Philippi in Philippians chapter 2. We read verses 12 and 13. And Paul wrote, "So then, my dear friends, just as you have always obeyed, not only in my presence, but even more in my absence, continue working out your salvation with awe and reverence." That verse tells us something amazing. A transformed heart must result in transformed actions. Paul is calling us to continually work out our salvation. Not that we're saved by what we do, but when we are saved, it transforms what we do. And then he went on in verse 13 to say, "For the one bringing forth in you both the desire and the effort for the sake of his good pleasure is God." It could be a lot to think of trying to shine bright for Jesus, trying to do all the right things, live the right way. But instead of being overwhelmed by those thoughts, we realize this truth. God is the one doing the work in us. When we pursue God, when we put his kingdom first, when we seek after him, he meets us and he does the work in us, transforming our lives so that we can shine brightly for him. Here's the big idea tonight. When I pursue God, he does the work and his presence brings out the light. It's not a light we generate on our own. We are not fireflies, but it is God's work in us, God work through us, that produces the light of his presence as we live our lives. And I'm so encouraged by what Francis Chan and Tony Merida wrote. They said, "We aren't what we ought to be or what we will be one day, but by God's grace, we are not what we used to be." God is working a process in you to shine bright for him, and he wants you to continually seek after him, pursue him, and allow him to do that work in you. And even though you're not where you want to be yet, trust the process. God is working in you, and one day you will be as you keep your eyes on Jesus. Have a great week.